Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today it is gathers. Okay, so this is one of my beginners course for the free online training. It is gather skirts, okay, that we're making now. The measurement you'll be needing is your waist, skirt length, and band if you want to make gathers. Okay, now the waist measurement for this practical we're going for, the waist is 22. Okay, now because it is gathers, you multiply it by 3. Please, to get a full gathers, the minimum you can go is multiply by 3. So you know how many inches or how many yards of fabric will give you a good gathers. All right, but if you want to manage, except you have few fabric, you can, the least two will be very hard, but 3 is the minimum. All right, if you want it more full, go for 4. Okay, that means 22 times 4, 22 times 3. But I'm going for 22 times 3, which gives me 66. That is the measurement of the fabric. This shows the fabric I'll be needing to achieve my 22 inches in my waist. Okay, now the skirt length is 10 in length. All right, and I'm adding 1 inches as folding allowance. There will be a band of 1 inches, all right, on the waist. Now this is what I'll be using. Okay, look at it very well. I only added folding allowance, all right, to the hemming of the down, 1 inches. The band will help. Now at the end we'll be having 10 as length, including the band. So if you have any question, please send it to me on my WhatsApp at the course of this training. And if you practice this, do send it to me on my WhatsApp. Okay, so let's move to the table for the cutting proper. This is the fabric we'll be using. This is just few fabrics remaining of someone's fabric. Okay, so I will be using it to make our gathers. Okay, now remember we went for the length, the total length we got was 60. Okay, so let me measure and be sure this fabric is up to 66. Sorry, this is the beginning. Okay, let's go. You see, this is where the 60 stopped. All right, now if I measure what is remaining, it is more than 66. This is it. Okay, let's start. You see, it is 73. So I'll be working with this. Good. So having gotten this, what next? Our height. Remember, the length is 11. So from here we measure 11. Okay, from here we measure 11 and we'll cut. First, let me fold this thing into 4. You know, a easy way so I can easily cut it. Folded into 4. So guys, folded into 4. Okay, I'm starting from the beginning. So guys, my length is 11. Remember 10 plus 1. Okay, so that is what I'll mark, then I'll cut. All right, so I folded it into 4, so it will be, I'll be able to cut it easily. So I'm marking 11 inches. Okay, 11 inches. Please don't do freehand like me. Use your rule and cross check. Use your rule to mark. All right, don't do freehand like me. Use rule. Then I've gotten my 11. All right, you can see the line with the chalk. Okay, I'll cut it out. Now cutting it out, this is all I did for my gathers. All right, now if the length increases, it doesn't affect the width. So this is basically all I need for my gathers. All right, all I need. So let's just recheck it to be sure of what we are getting. Okay, so check it together with me while we do that. Now remember that the first thing is your waist measurement multiplied by 3 to give you the total length of fabric you need to make a proper gathers. It can be gather skirt, it can be on the blouse, Good. Now, you see that is 60. If we have there 60, what is left? Okay, you can see that. So basically, the next thing now is to start sewing. Yes, we need to run a long stitch on it, you know, for it to gather. It is gathered. So let's go. So let's move to the machine. All right, now this is the machine I'll be using. Okay, so we place the fabric. Now, first of all, before you start, you see where the stitch number is. It is 2. Take it to the lowest. For industrial, 5 is the lowest. You see where I took it to. If you want it tight, you take it to the between 1 and 2. But for gathers, it is 5. You can see that once you take it to 5, that is the first thing. If it's a manual machine, you equally have to do that. Okay, once you do that, you place your fabric. Now, before you place your fabric, make sure there's rope. You can see the rope that came out. You see it? Enough rope. Then you start. Please don't back stitch, don't top stitch, do not tighten the stitch. Once you start sewing, continue sewing. The sewing should not cut. It should not cut. Please keep sewing. The stitch should not cut. Just keep sewing. All right. Now, what I'm trying to do right now is put pin on the footer. The pin they put, you see that pin, you put it in between the 2 footer. Okay, to make the gathers well. Now you keep sewing. You're sewing with loose stitch. Okay, it is very important. I'll show you why your stitches needs to be loose. Why? You can see that while sewing, it is folding a little bit. Okay, you keep sewing. Straight line. If you're watching what I'm doing, you can see that it is straight. I'm not shifting my hands downwards. Neither am I shifting my hands upwards. My hands are straight. Place your fabric straight, okay? You keep sewing. So you keep sewing. Once you get to the end of the fabric, you leave some fabric. That is the end. Watch me. I did not go back to tighten it. I did not go back. Rather, I lifted it up, brought out. You see, I'm bringing out more thread. The beginning, you have enough thread left. The ending, you equally have enough thread left. Okay, then you cut. All right. Now, once you have cut, the next thing to do is to start, drawing it together. You pick one of the thread. Here is my scissors. Okay, here is it. Next thing is to cut. All right, you cut. Now this is how it looks. You see how it looks. What do? I have 2 threads, two thread that are separate, one from the front, one from the back. You pick any. You see how I separated it. You can use any. See what I'm drawing. You hold one of the thread and you'll be drawing the fabric backwards. You're trying to fold it together, gather it. That is what you're doing. Okay. So you hold one of the thread. As you're holding the thread, you're stretching the fabrics backwards. You see what I'm doing? You see, I'm holding one thread, okay? You're stretching the fabric backwards, like you're trying to cluster the fabric, okay? You're trying to push it to an area, cluster it, jam each of the fabric together. That is what you're trying to do. Now, you can start from anywhere and it can be any thread, just that it has to be one thread at a time. One thread at a time. If you're holding the back thread, start with the back thread. If you're starting with the front, any of the thread, but it has to be one thread at a time. You hold the thread, you draw the fabrics, trying to cluster it together. All right. So you keep doing that until you get to the quantity, the garden, until you get to the waist. Initially, the cotton was 66, okay? So you have to keep, clustering the gathers, the fabrics together, keep pushing the fabrics to come together, right? Until you get to 22, which is the waist. Get me, please. You keep pushing the fabrics until you get to 22. When you get your tape, you measure it out and it gives you 22. That is when, all right, that is when you stop. Then you continue the sewing. You get another, you start with joining it, the zip, the folding of the down, the band, and all the rest. Just have it in mind. When you measure it's not yet 22, you keep taking the fabric, pushing it, you keep pushing, keep adjusting it until you get to your waist measurement. Now for this dress, I will not be going for 22. I will, considering my zip allowance, because there will be zip on this, okay? There will be zip on it. So you see how far. Now I've turned you to the other side of the fabric. I was, using the other edge before. Okay, I think it's enough from that side. I move to the other side. You see where my hand is now? Okay, so I used the other side, and remember I said it has to be one rope. You see this side is clustered too much. You can see how clustered it is. I've joined them too much. And let's check our 22 and be sure we have gotten to 22. Check. Once you get to 22, you start adjusting it. Now you see that I have exactly 22, but I still need to adjust it. The ending, there's no, it's not full clustered enough. So we are to keep folding, all right? So you keep clustering it, keep joining it, keep adding it. You see that? Good. That is it. Now I've gotten my waist measurement. The next thing to do right now is, please, once you're done clustering the fabrics, do not cut the thread. That long thread, do not cut it yet. If possible, all throughout your sewing, you will not cut that thread. Continue leaving it where it is, even if when it's blocking your way, try and adjust it. Now, what I'll do is to sew down. This is my zip allowance. I'm holding it down, all right? Then I'll now fix my zip allowance. You can see I'm trying to shift the rope, the thread one side so it doesn't block me. Now I've gotten my waist. What I need to do is just sew my zip allowance. Okay, now there's no slit on this skirt because it's gathers. All the allowance I have is just zip allowance. Okay, so I'll be working with 1 inches for my zip allowance for this skirt. Now I'm tightening it. What I'm sewing does not need to be free, so you can see I've tightened the tension. All right, I have taken it back to 2 so that my stitch can be firm. You sew straight, turn back. What did I do? Me going back is like tightening that place so it doesn't loose easily. Then you keep sewing. You already know the length of your zip. Okay, when you get there, you stop. You see, I'm stopping because that is where my zip will be. Okay. Now that's done. What next? The zip is next. How to sew the zip. Now, you can use any of the zip pattern. You can go for open zip or close zip. Okay, I'll be dropping the video of, if you don't know how to add your zip, there's a video I made of how you sew your zip. All right, it's equally the same pattern of fixing zip, but for this skirt I'll be going for close zip for this skirt. All right. So guys, I'm trying to adjust my rope. Okay, now I've sewed it. I've sewed the zip allowance. I left the space for my zip. Okay, so you can see it. That is the down. Now I want to finish the down, like double fold the down first before continuing with the zip and that and the band. So basically what I want to do now is double fold. You can see the factory finish edge. You're seeing that white part of the Ankara, the factory finish edge. All right, that is it. I'm trying to, fold it into 2. All right, this is hemming. I'm hemming the ending, the fabrics. So you keep folding. You keep folding and keep sewing. All right. So guys, you can see how I finished. This is the down you're seeing. All right, the down of the fabric. I folded it. Okay, double folding. All right, that is how what I did. I double folded it. Now if it is a gown, you add your upper part. Okay, if it is a skirt, the next thing is our zip and band. You can see the waist. See how it is. Okay, you can see it is clustered already. It's giving fullness, but it would have been more fuller if we did ×4. So it depends your fabric. Another thing is your fabric, the fabric you have, that also affects the how full your gathers will be. So this is my zip footer. Okay, I have to change it with the one I'm using earlier. Okay, so when I change it, it will be easy for me to sew. Now watch the video of how to sew this, please. I can't show it because I've already made a video of how you achieve this zip you're seeing, the full the cover zip, the close zip. There is a video of how to do that on my channel, or I will be attaching it to the end of this video so you watch it. Then the next thing is our band. This is the band I'll be using. I've equally made a video. Those, if you did not watch my pencil sketch, you know how you do our that. So basically, if your waist is 22, you add 4 to it, it gives you 26. Okay, now if the height of your band is 1.5 or 1, you add, if it's 1, you add 1 to it, it gives you 2, you add another 1. If it is 1.5, you add 1.5 to it, it gives you 3, you add another 1. Okay, so whatever your band height is, you double it. Okay, when you double it, you add 1. When you double it, you add 1. Okay, so basically that is how. But for this, what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to get where the 22 stops, so that I'll make sure all the gathers will enter nowhere else apart from that 22. It makes it easy. That is why I'm, marking the point where 22 ends. So what next? It's just for me to place it, open the zip up. You can see the thread is still there. All right, the only time you can cut your thread, maybe when you sew it, run a stitch on top of the gathers to hold it firm, then you can cut your excess. But if not, continue, because you keep adjusting, while fixing your band. Okay, now I've pinned it. Look at what I'm trying to do. I'm starting from the inside because I want the band to be showing on the front. Okay, so I'm pinning it round. Once I'm done with that, I'll sew it up. You see that is the line where, so I'll just pin the beginning there. Use pin and hold it. It makes it easy. I'll make sure every other space, all right, the gathers is within that space. Once you've done that, the next thing is to sew. So guys, I'm still pinning it. Okay, so I must make sure that space, that 22 inches in the band, that every other thing enters inside. Okay, so let's keep going. Good, that is it. So what next? Place it on your machine and sew. Now remember, I pinned the band inside, like what you're looking at now is the outside, the band is below, under. Okay, so let's sew. Now the sewing is done delicately. When you place your footer and start sewing, you place it very well, pin it, then you keep sewing. As you're sewing, you make sure it's not stretching, adjust it if need me to, and you will equally use your hand to hold it down if needs to. So watch how I'm doing that. Now you can see I'll place it very well before I sew. I'll make sure it is well placed. No part is folding, okay? Bringing it out well before you sew. Now let's keep going. Place it very well before you sew. You adjust it, okay? So guys, you keep sewing, all right? As you're sewing, you're adjusting your gathers, you're placing it very well. Make sure everything in order. It's not those kind of sewing you just sew straight, okay? You sew it gradually to make sure you come out with the perfect result. Okay, you're placing it gradually, like any part that is folded, you adjust it, keep sewing. You see that? So guys, you keep sewing, okay? That is it. You keep sewing, keep going, all right? Now this is the end of the fabric, all right? Good. So guys, you fold it. Now this is exactly how we fold the waistband. If you have not watched video of my how to finish your band, how to sew a waistband, please do that, okay? It's on my channel. You can go through and watch it. So basically, that is the band that I'm finishing the edge. Okay, I folded it, then I'm sewing it straight. I'm finishing the edge. All right, so you sew and cut, then you turn. The same thing I did in the other edge is what I'll do here too. You fold it. You see what I did? Fold one side. I'm folding 1/2 inches, okay? Now when you fold it, you equally sew it. Now to see this video, to understand perfectly, make sure you watch the video of how to, if you watch the video of the pencil skirt, okay, you understand how to finish this band. All right, now you place it. When you place it, you sew exactly close to the zip, not on the zip teeth, by the side. Then you cut. So you see that I've turned it. This is how the band is right now. Remember, I sewed it from the back, okay? The reason why I started from the back, because I want it turned this way. You see how it is? You turn it, okay? When you flip it, it gives you, this is how it will look. Then you stitch it. Now, when you want your band to come to the front, you know, the stitch will be at the front. Sew it from the back or the inner skirt, then you turn it to the front. You have something like this, okay? Now, while you're turning the band, please make sure you're smoothing your skirt, the gathers, so you don't sew on it, okay? It is very easy. I hope you're seeing it clearly. All right, I sewed the back. Now I'm turning it to the front, okay? So this is it. Watch how I'll do the folding. So I'll fold half in, then I'll go by fold the remaining one, then sew. All right, that is it. Okay, you keep sewing. All right, it is a gradual process. It's not something you just sew straight ahead. Now let's go again. You place it very well. All right, fold half in and place it on the edge to cover up the rough edges. Then you sew. Now try as much as possible for your hand to be straight, okay? Try as much as possible for your hand to be straight. So that is it. You keep folding, keep sewing. All right. So guys, this is how it looks, okay? That is the waistband. It has been done. And our skirt, our gather skirt is ready. Okay, you can see the hemming on the down. You can see the zip. That is how you make a gather. Now, this is the look on the dummy. Okay, this is how it looks on the dummy. Okay, that is our band. All right, so when you're talking of gather skirt, this is what we are talking about. Okay, so guys, please make sure you like this video if you have not liked it. All right, subscribe to the channel, share to your friends, and see you on my next video, guys.